very much. I know Tavoa and the bar area are very special to our cane supply and your supporters.
And other distinguished guests that are present here today.
You're welcome as well. Somewhere there I saw directly. I'm delighted to be here today to open the 2018 crushing season for the Rarawai Mill. But before I deliver my address, please accept an apology from the Honorable Prime Minister for not being able to be here this morning. He has asked me to convey his best wishes for the 2018 crushing season. As CEO has said, that I was here during and after the flood. I saw firsthand what happened to our mill. It took some time to think about how we're going to repair the damages. But the very first thing that came to my mind was all those who were residing here before, Indian Lane and Fijian Lane. I was just thinking to myself, just imagine if they were not relocated, what would have happened to their families? And now I can proudly say that the decision that we took at that point in time by condemning those barracks and relocating them to another site was a correct one. At least they are in safe hands now. This is one of Fiji's oldest sugar mill, having been established in 1886 by the CSR company. The township of Ba was established around this very same Rarawai sugar mill. As stated earlier on, in April this year, this mill was hit by back-to-back cyclones in Kenny and Josie. When I remember these two names, and when I see the manager of Ba soccer team, reminds me of Kenny Doidoi and Josiah Buklindi. And at that time I thought maybe these two is somewhere around here. These natural disasters took a toll on this mill as the river burst its bank and the mill became submerged in water, which brought with it massive amounts of silt and debris. The main water pipeline, as stated earlier on by the CEO, for the mill that comes from across the other side of the Ba River was also washed away from the impact of the cyclone. This has been temporarily restored and water supply has normalized. The cost of this was around $120,000. As I stand here now, 4 months after this, the Rarawai Mill is ready to start its 2018 crushing season. A very commendable effort, and much credit goes to the resolve and the resilience of Rarawai team. You have heard what the CEO have said, the plans that they have resolved to put in place. So if there is a breakdown, don't call media. They're not going to solve your problem. These are the people who's going to solve your problem. All these hardworking staffs. Just imagine, this is to the cane lorry drivers and some of the growers. As soon as there is a breakdown, they'll call the media. I want to ask you, is media going to solve your problem? No, it hurts. You must understand one thing. How does all these hardworking people feel when they read on the front page? Don't you think it reflects on them as well after doing so hard work in getting the mill up and running? To me, yes, it hurts, because we get information from the mill management every week. So on the same breath, I also think that the workers who are involved in the industry, they also feel the same. So it is my plea this morning, being a bar boy, please cooperate and work with the stakeholders. That is the solution. And as CEO has stated, he is ready to assist you. And I'm very happy to hear the plans that they have now. So what does that tell you? It tells you that they are really ready and they're also worried about you if there is a breakdown. So please cooperate and work together for the best of 2018 season. Apart from the mill, farms and growers within the Rarawai Mill sectors have also been very badly impacted. Tropical cyclone Josie and Kenny caused significant damage to 696 farms, the cane access roads and crossings. Despite this, I'm told that Rarawai Mill is expected to crush around 600,000 tons of cane this season, 468,000 from within the bar mill area, and a further 127 tons of cane from Penang sector. FSC has also invested in refurbishing this mill and maintenance of both its 5 megawatts and 4 megawatt stable generators. While these mechanical improvements have been carried out within the mill, technical training for the factory team to operate and maintain the machines with the best possible care and attention at all times has been completed as well. I must stress that sugar industry is here to stay, despite the numerous challenges which we have faced. This coming year, the level of assistance from the Fiji First government for the industry remains significant. Targeted areas are supported in the 2018-2019 government budget to directly assist farmers by reducing their cost of production and increasing productivity. These initiatives include planting, harvesting, and transportation of cane to mills. For the above, government has allocated $62.3 million in the 2018-2019 budget to support the sugar sector and the running of the Ministry of Sugar Industry. A key objective is to modernize the sugar industry. The launch of the March 2018 of 30 new tractors for the industry, together with accompanying implements, was a significant milestone. These have been developed across the cane belt to assist growers with their planting. In addition, by the end of this year, it is expected that a total of 60 mechanical harvesters will be servicing the industry. This is a 40% increase over last year. FSC have also recently added 20 water tanker units to these fleets for dry season irrigation, another significant intervention to boost farming productivity. I don't know how many of you have heard, if you have heard correctly, there is also funding given by the government under Ministry of Waterways. And I would like to urge the farmers to read through the budget that was presented and approach the respective government departments for the assistance. All those are for you. Please make use of it. Before I conclude, I would like to thank all stakeholders for their cooperation in getting the crushing season underway. Despite what the critics say, as I've said earlier on, the sugar industry is here to stay. And some of these sugar politicians remain repeating their old doom and gloom stories. What they forget to mention is that sugar remains the lifeblood of this very town. I've been mayor of this town for 12 years. And I've been in council for 25 years. I've always said in all the forums that Ba is dependent on the sugar industry. Our identity is soccer, no doubt. Maybe we are losing few games, that's fine. But we are dependent on sugar industry. So how can you let this industry die? Many of you gathered here as industry stakeholders, whether as farmers, millers, mill workers, lorry drivers, can trace generations in your family who have also worked in this sugar industry. The sugar industry is not something that we as a government can afford to let decline and die out. The sugar industry is not something that you as stakeholders can afford to let decline and die out. It is time to come together for the sugar industry. It is an industry that requires innovation. It needs new thinking, new mindsets, and new ways of farming, milling, and marketing to make the industry viable. And new ways of farming. As I've mentioned, why government is putting in money to get these mechanical harvesters? Because we are not sitting on the job. We know we have problems with cane cutters. Just imagine if there was no mechanical harvesters, what would have happened to our industry? And these new innovations are packaged for you under the current initiatives under the Fiji First government. No government in the past, including those led by so-called sugar politicians, have done so much for the sugar industry. I got no hesitation in saying that, because I know for myself. And for the Fiji First government will continue to lead, innovate, and secure your future in the sugar industry in the coming months and years. Let us not forget these initiatives that provide for you, as it will provide for the future of generations to come. Let us not forget these initiatives and the Fiji First government under which these have been made possible, as we are gathered together this morning for the 2018 crushing season. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you all for showing the Ba spirit in coming together in the face of natural disasters to bring us to the opening of the crushing season in such a short time. Let me also acknowledge your families, in particular the women, mothers, sisters, daughters, and wives from the sugar industry for your contributions. I know all of you will stand strong as families in ensuring a successful season. I look forward to the same Ba spirit in maintaining and ensuring a record crushing season for the Rarawai Mill. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, let me emphasize by repeating what I said before. All the right initiatives under the Fiji First government are in place to ensure that we continue to grow our sugar industry. And there is no better time than now to grow this industry to ensure the future of you and your families. We look forward to working with the sugar industry stakeholders to ensure the success of this major economic driver for our nation. With these few words, I now have much pleasure in opening the Rarawai Mill for the 2018 crush season, and I wish the FSC management and staff all the best for a most successful crushing season. Vinaka, thank you.